You want to be Googleable. Here's the thing that I tell everyone, Charlie. As much as you like, you cannot hire an SEO person. It is impossible. Not because they're hard to find. It is logically, technically impossible to buy SEO. Even if you wanted to pay me millions of dollars.
What's going on, Dennis?
Hey, Mr. Charlie. How are you doing?
How are ya?
Good, good.
Good, man.
Well, you got me. I'm here for
Where are you out of?
Vegas.
Nice, man. Where in Vegas?
Henderson.
Okay. You like it?
I think it's great. I'm hardly ever here, though.
Really? You travel a lot?
Yeah, I've been in 8 countries in the last 3 months.
Really?
And
Where do you go?
that's wherever they send me.
Really?
Dubai,
What do you-
Slovenia, London. Where did I go? I was in Suriname, which I didn't even know was this place in South America. A lot of these governments will hire me because they want to train up their third world-ish, but they've got a developing labor pool, and they know that we can create jobs for $500 a month, which in some countries is a lot of money.
Totally. Absolutely. That's interesting.
Yeah.
How'd you get involved with that?
It just sort of happened. You probably know I was an engineer at Yahoo. I was one of the first ones there 25 years ago or so. And I started speaking because the other engineers didn't want to speak. So I was decently good. And
Right.
I got invited to lots of conferences and I kept getting invited back and then got invited to these industry associations. So I'll be the keynote speaker for the National Funeral Home Association or, for Tommy's Garage Door thing or the most random things like the National Association of Playground Manufacturers or
Oh my gosh.
it's like the most, they're like, well, I'm one of the few 7-figure speakers out there. Like last year, I was the keynote speaker for the National Speaker Association, which is the organization for professional speakers. So,
That's awesome, man. That's
I'm
great.
under a ton of scrutiny, right?
Yeah, right. Totally. I can only imagine.
Yeah.
That's good, man. Well, as you know, we're in Detroit and Chicago. Might be looking to sharpen the sword a little bit. We'll see.
Well, you should bring it in-house, but fractional CMO doesn't mean in-house.
Totally. Yeah.
It sounds attractive, and it's been the hot thing in marketing the last 3 years.
Well, I had a full-time CMO
Oh.
in-house, but he just wasn't the guy. You know what I mean?
Marco told you over and over again.
Yeah. About oh no, this is a different guy.
Oh, you had another one after this guy? Because you're paying some guy like $100K a year and he wasn't any good.
There was another guy after him because
Oh,
I
no.
knew that guy wasn't any good. I hired another guy who was okay. He didn't know much about much. He needed another guy. He was trying to hire another person for like 75 grand on top of him to be like his junior marketing, person. I'm like, dude,
Hire a mechanic. Don't you have to be a mechanic yourself?
correct.
Otherwise, how do you know? You're a fat person taking weight loss advice, right?
Correct. So this is what it is. So yeah, now
You can, if you have someone operationally who doesn't necessarily know anything about marketing, but is really good from a project management standpoint, it's not that you're even trying to save money, but you can get a better result by having a few VAs, follow checklists, and then you adapt with industry practices. And I wouldn't have made this recommendation except in the last couple of years because of all the changes with AI tools and how the algorithms themselves have changed on Google and Facebook and all that.
totally. So did you check out our website?
I checked it out a few times, but I haven't looked in the last couple months.
What did you think about that thing I filled out? Or when are we doing that report on the
Oh,
site?
that we're working on that with Roger. Oh, that one. That'll be ready in a few weeks, but I'll just tell you right now. Here,
Cool.
there's nothing to look at here. So I assume you want to start with Comer Cross, not Comer Cross Garage or these other ones, right?
We just redid our domain to comercross.com because Comcast had us blacklisted.
Really?
Yeah. And we've been through it. We've been going through it with them for about 6 months.
Okay. All right. Things look a little bit different than what I remember. Okay. So real quick, you can see you don't rank on anything.
Right. Can you
What's that?
scroll this too so I can rewatch it as well?
Yeah, I think I think like there's a setting in Zoom that it automatically shares this, but yeah, I'm pretty sure it's being recorded because after every meeting, I get a little thing from Zoom saying, here's the recording, which I'll send to you.
Okay, cool.
And then your guy or girl or whoever, if you hire some VAs or whoever you hire can watch this as well.
Cool.
Yeah. This is so easy, Charlie. This is Groundhog Day, thousands and thousands and thousands of times over. It's like watching this boring movie over and over again. I mean, you've never seen this movie before, but I have.
Yep.
First thing I do is I see, do you rank on any keywords? And I'm looking for mainly geo category terms. So city name times, garage floor coatings, people that, aspartic or whatever words they're looking for, epoxy.
Yeah.
And I guess maybe because you switched this new domain, it's new. Well, let's see here. So if you're not ranking on a lot of keywords, it could be because it was relatively new or the content doesn't rank. So, okay, there's no history on this one.
Sure. Should we pull up the other one? Comer Cross Garage.
That one's just as weak. So you have this little yo-yo roller coaster, which maybe is some degree of seasonality, but like it's zero. There's nothing going on here.
Yeah.
See, it's at least it's better than a year ago. A year ago you had zero. Now you have like slightly more than zero.
Right.
Zero as far, I mean, it's a rounding error. You rank on your name, which means you probably do decent operationally. You have a good enough reputation that Comer and Cross is number one and number two. But
We do a lot.
okay, that's why then. So keyword difficulty is all like 0, 1, and 2, which is good news because obviously you rank on your own name, but here still super easy. There's a lot of these terms that are super easy. Garage floor coating, Michigan, epoxy flooring, Rochester. These are what we call geo combo terms, right? City name times epoxy or garage floor or whatever, right?
Yeah.
And any geo term is going to be super easy.
What does the volume mean?
How many per month?
Are being
Not a
served?
lot, but they add 30 people per month are searching on this. It would cost you $1.33. You're getting 2 of them because you're in position 6. You get 2 of the 30. That's about right. Yeah, you kind of have to be in the top 3. And then because of the way search has changed, it's not just the 10 blue links. There's all these SERP features, SF. So you're showing up in the local pack or videos where so that's good. You have 6 SERP features on this one.
Right.
It could be a lot stronger. So if we look at this location service page, because everything for local service businesses is on location service pages, right? So here's the services, here's whatever, locations, right? I guess, okay, you have these little sub-menu things going on, okay? All these local pages, all these service pages. So if I look at residential floor coatings, this is your service page. And this page actually is by far your most powerful page. It's got 114 of the 210 for the site. The site's got this, and this one page is basically as powerful as your site.
Like who determines what the keywords are?
Google.
Gotcha. Okay.
And this is mind-blowingly simple and obvious.
Yeah.
So if Google is coming here, now imagine Google is the judge, and the judge assumes you're guilty. It's not the United States where you're innocent until proven guilty. They assume you're guilty because there's kinds of tricks that people use. So what can you do, Charlie, to show that you actually do the thing that you say that you do in the city that you say you do it? Otherwise, like best garage floor concrete coatings. Okay, well, any spammer can say that. Garage floor coatings are a game changer, blah, 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 blah. Any AI or whatever tool could auto-generate this, right?
Yeah.
So I'm looking for things that clearly demonstrate that you are credible, that you are good at garage floors in Michigan, Chicago, whatever, Detroit area. And this could be auto-generated, right? I'm not saying it's good content or whatever, but there's nothing here that honors Google standards, which is EEAT, right? It used to be EAT, but now it's EEAT. And a lot of people don't even realize this. Google EEAT. Google has these standards, okay? You can tell I've been here many times. And they added an E. So instead of EAT, it's EEAT. And you need to inject your experience, that you actually do the thing that you say that you do. I'm sort of paraphrasing. Sure. That's what it is. And they have this 170-page quality rater guideline document that all these people that claim to be SEO experts have never read, and they don't even know this exists.
Right.
Google tell us here in the quality rater guideline what they're looking for in a web page. And now the AI goes through it and scans to make sure you're honoring these guidelines. So let's just pretend we're Google and go through your webpage, and you tell me, are you honoring these basic guidelines or not, right? So let's take a look. Where are we? This one. Okay. So EEAT, I want to see your experience. I want to see that you actually do a good job at doing this thing, which is, expertise. You show how you do it. Your
reviews. Would our reviews help with that?
Yeah, that helps with trust.
400 something reviews. I don't know.
Yeah, that's great. I think your GMB is what carries this. Your website does almost nothing. It's all your GMB and your radio. Yeah. So then I see pictures. Remember, if I'm Google, I'm looking for things that are legitimately, this is you and not stock art. So let's see. Well, this looks like it might be yours.
Honestly, don't even know at this point.
No, it's not. The same picture is used elsewhere at Flexmar polyspartic and other places.
Got
Interesting. Yeah. Well, so why does that matter? I mean, why not just use stock art, you know?
Yep.
Because you want to show Google that you actually do the thing that you say that you do. How about this one?
It's probably all the same.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, this one. You can tell this is the same picture being used in these other places, right? Firstclasspaint.net.
The funny thing, I think it's from our original website, and we've just always kept these pictures.
That's what people do. Yeah. See where else this same day floors, Boston garage, platinum concrete flooring, first class. Do you see it's the exact same picture, Charlie?
Yes.
I bet you that these are all built like by the same guy. Or they usually their vanity, they put their thing in the footer somewhere saying it built by whoever they are. I don't know. I don't look at it right now. Which is all like if there's a parasitic link, that's also a bad thing. First class. Look at that. Firstclasspaint.net.
That's absurd.
Anyway, imagine you're Google, okay? You're Google and you want to see, you're following the quality rater guidelines, which I just showed you. You can read it, or you can ask ChatGPT, hey, imagine, you're talking to Dennis and he's looking at EEAT and, oh, wait, let's see, let's go back to this one. Okay.
This is being recorded, right?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect.
You can't argue this. A lot of people want to come and argue. I'm like, you're 400 pounds and 5'2". You're clearly obese. Why are you arguing with me?
Totally.
Residential floors and garage floors. Okay. Which is trying to like inject the keyword here multiple times. I got it. And then here's some stuff. Most homeowners, blah, 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 blah. That's why Comer and Cross this and this. And, we're 4 times stronger than epoxy because, and here's the whole multiple coats, which of course, where is this being used? Oh, well, what do you know? All kinds of places, the same thing's being used, right? Not a surprise. Okay. So far, Charlie, if you're Google and you're scanning through this, is there anything here that shows me that you actually are a reputable, credible company? Or is this something that somebody with a little bit of software skill can just spin up? If I want to create if I want to be a competitor of yours, and I open up one of these in each of these cities, is there anything that demonstrates you are more trustworthy than me?
0.
Okay. So why should you rank on anything?
Probably shouldn't, which I don't.
But if you actually have proof of this because of reviews, because of site traffic, because of your reputation, which Google can see, because they can see when people click on your site, Google can see how people behave in the search results. Google can see all these things. Our blog. Okay. Why do we use polyspartic instead of epoxy? Okay, here's some reviews. All right. So this doesn't even answer the questions that people have. I'll prove it to you. So runs Comer Cross, which does garage floors in Detroit, Chicago. Here is his page here's his main page, residential. I could speak it, I know, but I'm still old fashioned.
There we go.
Garage floors. Please evaluate it for EEAT and PAA, which go together. People also ask, right? Name the PAA. We are not answering. This is why I'm recording this so VA can watch this, okay? This is so easy. It's like ridiculously easy. We're not answering. And show where we could insert EEAT items. Don't be afraid. Because it's always polite. The AI is like got this like polite thing going on, right? Don't be afraid to be harsh and specific since we need your help because I talk to it like a human to improve page. I know you can't, you got to give it, this is what prompting's called. You like give it context. I know you can't see the images, but they're all stock art pulled from the flooring coating manufacturers and other folks who taken pictures of shiny polyspartic floors. Okay. Oh no, it's like where this one? This one, yeah, okay. Copy. I'm an expert copy paster, Charlie. Okay. I'm using GPT-4 and I'm also using the team thing, which is an extra $10 a month, but it's worth it. Okay. This is what you would do on every single one of your pages. Meanwhile, your VA would have Google Photos, which is tied to your technicians or to your phone or whoever in a shared folder. And I might look at, shiny garage floors. And the AI is searching across all my stuff, right? Because it's just automatically pulled from my iPhone and it's grabbing all this stuff, right?
Yep.
Okay. I might look at stuff in Detroit. I've not been to Detroit very often. Michigan Ave is not a cool place to be. So even though I've been out there for like Domino's, they were one of my favorite clients. So it's going to grab everything that's tagged. There's no Detroit. That can't be right. Michigan. It's going to grab everything tagged by the object, by where it is, by who it is, by whatever. You kidding? There's no Michigan? That can't be. Something's goofy. Oh, you know what? I didn't turn this on until a few years ago. So my last visit to Michigan wasn't captured in here. Fine. We'll look at Marco. All the things that the AI recognizes with Marco, right? So Marco and we ran the Portland Marathon. Here we are. Ran this thing in 3 minutes to the start of the marathon. We're at the 4 hour. That was my birthday. We did it for my birthday in Portland.
Crazy.
And this is one of our clients. This guy's he's ranked #1 on Portland Pest Control.
Nice.
And pizza. And you can see all this information. And Marco and I are making videos. We ran the Aspen Marathon on Saturday, August 5th. Can you see here on the right? See?
Yep.
Okay. So this information is real. I'm telling Google I'm real. And yeah, 7 hours because it was freaking at high altitude and all that. So, right. So all of this stuff is being captured, and you can see, oh yeah, we did this car racing thing. That was fun. Right.
Yep.
And we're making videos in the studio here in Henderson, Nevada, right here. This is where the studio is. Right.
Yep.
All of this stuff, I'm telling Google, like if you see this and then it's turned into articles and videos and things like that, and I put it up on web pages, and let's say the web page is about how do you do local SEO, or how your agency is not ripping you off, or, how to own your own marketing. And here's this. How do you hold marketing agencies accountable?
Dan,
right?
If you do go the agency route, how to?
Yep. I actually watched that.
Oh, you did? Did you like it?
Yeah, I loved it. Of course, I didn't remember any of it because I have a million things going on, but I watched the whole thing.
Okay. But you understand that even though there's like all these details, you understand the main point that agencies or people that you trust to do marketing will say all sorts of things that you don't, you like. But here's how you get past all the nonsense, right? Here's how you hold them accountable. So as an example, am I showing Google that I'm credible in digital marketing or driving SEO or whatever? Because of who I'm associated with, because of what I'm doing, because of the groups that I'm in, because I'm trying to show Google beyond the benefit, beyond like me just saying so, the level of proof that, you see what I'm saying? Like I'm not, it's not because like, oh, I know about digital marketing. Like I'm telling Google, and by definition, the universe, all these other people that are, if I'm associated with these other people, like these guys are well known in remodeling, which is another industry. And they came out to Vegas for this remodeling conference. And then they, took me out to dinner and this whole thing, right? Like this is all, like Phil Mershon, he runs the conference for the social media people, right?
This is all just considered SEO. And basically you're just saying the realer it all is, the better it is kind of what you're getting to, original content.
So this looks like social media, right? Oh, look, Leanna Ling, who runs the #1 group of people who do Facebook ads. She runs ad skills. She's saying, I learned things from Dennis Yu. Oh, here's some really cool things. And then here I'm sharing, if you search by name, Charlie, I have a knowledge panel. But more importantly, social media, as I'm showing here, social media affects your SEO immediately. Look, I did a tweet. Here it is. It shows up right away, 4 minutes later, right? And I explain why that is, right? And then Danny Barrera and these other people are all. So there's proof to Google that I am actually good at the thing that I say I'm good at.
Right.
And so then this gets propagated to the rest of the internet through this 4-stage process, which is the thing that we've been teaching all along, right? So if you have proof that Coleman and Cross does great, shiny aspartic floors all across Chicagoland and Detroit and whatnot, I need to know that this exists in many ways. There's the reviews, there's people talking about you, there's podcasts that you're on, there's industry events where you're hanging out with other people that are, in Google's eyes, reputable. Could be, Tommy or Marco or Ryan Davis. It could be all these, there has to be all this stuff off of your phone, off of your texts that are out there doing, these teams that are going around and doing this stuff. And what's his face? Who's the guy that everyone references, who's like the big guy in the shiny garage, or what's his face? I met him at
Jeff Gear. Yeah.
Jeff Gear, that's right. Yeah. So I need to show I'm hanging out with Jeff Gear, right? And I'm running ads and like all these things that show I'm somehow, I'm in Chicago, so I'm eating deep dish pizza. I need to see all these things that show that I'm in Chicago. right? Can I show Google that I'm in Chicago? I can post pictures of the Sears Tower that were taken from someone else, or I could actually freaking be,
Yep.
in Chicago.
Totally.
And here's my buddy who runs La Gondola, who caters to all the celebrities. And, I've
In
known this
Chicago.
guy for
Awesome.
15, 20 years now.
Where are these pictures coming from?
They're coming from my iPhone. They're automatically coming from my iPhone. Look, iPhone 14.
On Google.
Oh, because I pay $10 a month for Google Photos. Because Apple has their AI, so you can pay for iCloud, which you should. And then you pay another $10 a month for the Google one, and you pay $10 a month for Amazon. You pay $10 a month for Dropbox. So I'm paying for 4 storage services, cloud storage services.
Yep.
Because each of them has a different kind of pro and con with their AI and how they store things and how I can share and how my VAs automatically get access to this, right? So I just did a search in Chicago, but I could say Chicago and Marco. And then there's all the pictures of me in Chicago with Marco, right? You understand like how I can search photos, just like, I right click on anything on your site and look,
Yep.
we're eating food at Fogo de Chao. No, it was my birthday. We're celebrating my birthday in Chicago. We celebrated my birthday this year, last year. We went jet skiing. That was fun. You can see this is where it is out here in the ocean, right? And it's Chicago and it's with Marco. But you see how if you actually have the experience of all the things that you say that you do, you can take all that and stick it in all these other places.
Totally.
This is SEO.
And so when you start creating
you do the
content,
thing, then stick it, here. I was a week ago or whatever, I was in Dubai. I was the keynote speaker. I was the main speaker at Affiliate World, which is the big one for all the performance marketers. They paid me a good amount of money. And this other guy who runs a big agency, I coach a lot of agencies, you can probably imagine.
Yeah.
And he talked about the book that me and Perry Marshall have and all this. And this is just showing trust. So trust comes because of who you're with, because of what you've done, because of where it's being shown. Like it's all these signals to try to pass the lie detector test, right? I'm not trying to cheat the lie detector test. I'm trying to show I actually am honest. I actually do this. I actually do know all these people, right?
right.
Proof. Like, yeah, this conference that I was the keynote at, they're inviting me to be the keynote in 2 weeks. I've got to go fly my ass to Eastern Europe to do this thing, right? Here's proof from stage, right? All these people, right? Here's all this, like, I'm trying to show proof. So this looks like social media, Charlie, but this is proof. So I could say, you know what? I know how to hire an army of VAs. I've hired thousands of VAs and all this, and helped other people hire 250,000 VAs, right? But you know what Fiverr is, right?
Yeah.
So I do a webinar together with Fiverr. This is not me as a seller on Fiverr. We're doing training together with Fiverr, right? Because I'm trying to show that I am knowledgeable and trustworthy when it comes to hiring VAs or people that do marketing for you and whatnot. And Fiverr is a DR91 site with 29 million links. So this tells Google I'm trustworthy because not anyone is going to be featured on Fiverr, right?
Right.
And then you look on, this is like so apparently obvious, like people don't understand it. Okay. So I'm an instructor on Fiverr, for example. I'm not doing this to boast. I'm just trying to show you, right? And I've got these courses. Here's one of them. It's on how do you build a personal brand online. And it's got all these lessons. There's a lot here that you could spend all day watching this and going through the exercises or have your VA do it for you if you have all the ingredients, which I think you do. And it's got a lot of reviews. And this is on Fiverr.com, right? So I'm trying to tell Google, the judge, I'm legitimate when it comes to things related to hiring VAs and freelancers. And because imagine if I had a website, Dennis.
VAs, what do you mean by like virtual assistants, obviously, but like you're saying VAs to do my marketing for me?
Yeah, everything can be done by VA. I'm a VA.
Sure.
Yep. I'm virtual. I'm not physically doing things for you, right?
Yeah.
Now I have a personal assistant and she picks me up from the airport or goes to Costco and whatever. But I feel like all of us are VA. Marco's a VA.
Right. No, totally.
By definition, I'm not physically doing something for you. I'm a VA. We're all a lot of people think VAs are just like call center people or something. Here's the key point. To rank in Google, to be Googleable, I need to show Google that beyond the shadow of a doubt, because of who I'm associated with, because of like where I'm doing it, because of pictures and videos, because of like everything to show like I actually do garage floors and city name, right?
Right. Totally. No, that's awesome.
You don't do that. And we can go to page after. This is your very best page. Let's look at any of these random ones. Choose one of these. Cook County. DuPont. I don't know, I'll just choose one of these, okay? Oh, that's great. You got a problem. And you can tell whoever did this, like they meant well. Look, they're
What
trying to
did
go
you go to that was a firewall?
Cook County concrete coatings, Will County concrete coatings, Kane County concrete coatings. They're trying to keyword stuff. Do you think if they put such and such city concrete coatings, that's going to help them rank better in concrete coatings? You think?
No.
No.
Is that goes to the firewall? Which link is that on the website?
It's all the ones to these location service pages.
Gotcha.
Yeah, that's probably not a trustworthy thing, is it? Google will ding you if you do that because it means you're not paying attention to your site. Now, maybe these other ones, Wayne County. Okay. Oh, all your location pages don't work. Well, let's do a site comercross.com. Oh, yeah, this is terrible. Okay. 27. You should be hundreds. There's almost nothing on your site. Your site is a brochure, Charlie.
Right.
I almost wanted to tell you, someone bit my finger, Charlie.
Yeah, right.
Bit my finger. Okay, so I think I looked at this before, but let me just make sure. I think you have almost no pages. It's your home page. Okay, yeah. It's this one. Yeah, this is your top page by far. This one that we looked at, which is all these other ones basically. Yeah, the location service pages, none of the blog posts, nothing where you say like this is how we do the garage. Here's how we do a 1 day floor because we do these different layers and coatings and here's how we sand it and clean the floor and this is what it costs. And you don't answer. Oh, that's right. Let's come back over here. Where's their answer? I just freeze on me. Probably too many people are using it, even though I'm paying for the thing. Where's the answer? Okay, so you didn't answer any of the PAA. Of course not. And you don't have any EEAT, but you could.
Yeah.
You could do this, but you don't. You don't satisfy EEAT. Isn't it cool how Google knows these things? And it knows what I would say about it too, because it knows all about me, right? Because or whatever, ChatGPT, which pulls from Google. So it's the same thing as far as I'm concerned. So, if I do Hago epoxy, because most consumers don't know any better, flooring contractors, okay, fine. There's some ads. Then whoever epoxy floor Chicago is the #1 regular result, which is actually not very competitive. Windy City Coating, some of these ads here, right? And then PAA, right? People also ask, here's all the questions. What's it cost? Well, depends on this and that. And how about a 2,000 square foot thing? Or what about for a garage? And what's the good and bad on epoxy? And, is it cheaper than tile? And can I do it myself? And how long do they last? And you're not answering any of these questions. But Charlie, do you think, you're an operator and people like Creighton are salespeople, but if you've got these texts that are going about, and let's say you're good at scaling this thing because you're able to do things consistently with a lot of redos. That's why Cardinal's almost out of business because the redo rate's too high. But if you actually do good, which you do because your reviews and all that, which is your saving grace is your Google reviews. Do you think that some of your texts could, or you could, you see all these questions. You could just, as you're doing these floors or whatever, you could just go ahead and answer these questions. Boom, boom, boom. 1 minute per. You could probably knock this whole thing out in 30 minutes. Let's call it an hour, right?
Yeah, totally.
Yeah. All right. And don't you think that would be a little more trustworthy than, let's just go back to any of your web pages, see what any of these web pages. Oh, well, that's not good.
Are all those web pages not working?
Oh, you have a problem. You've had lots of problems on this. You don't have the pixel in place. Your tags aren't here. The website loads slow. You just get all kinds of issues. Even the previous one. Look, I always get people on this one.
Why do you think it's working for me, these location pages on my website?
It could be working for you, but that's what they always say. Oh, it works for me.
Why is it? It's so weird.
Who knows? Lots of reasons.
Why it would be working for me and not you?
Yeah.
That's terrible to hear.
No, I hear that all. Like programmers are usually the ones that say that. The website doesn't work. The app does. Well, it works for me. Well, yeah, but who cares?
So weird though. Why is it not loading for you?
It's not even that. It's that the site's so broken. This is Google's own tool. So whoever built your site they'll want to argue with me about this, about Google's own tool that tells you get a 21 on mobile. And it breaks it down into why.
So you're on a specific tool where it wasn't loading on there and GoDaddy was popping up.
Yeah, but it's because of how you're balancing your loads and you're not using, content networks to spread out the load and load from multiple places. You're using Amazon, but anyway, I don't want to go into all the details of like hosting and loading content from different places and making it load fast. The main thing is if Google, you can go to the same tool and get the same answer. Google says you're a 21. You might not know what that means, and you might not know what all these things are. Like What does this mean, JavaScript execution? Is this a lot of JavaScript or not? What does this mean that it's 10 seconds for the largest contentful paint element? The time to first byte is almost a second, and it delays you for like 4 seconds, and another second. What does it mean that you have all this unused CSS here? Google's telling us what's wrong, right? This is Google's tool. All this stuff is so broken. It's easy to fix, by the way. I have VAs that'll fix it for like 200 bucks, 300 bucks, 200 bucks, 200, 300 bucks.
Do you have anyone you would recommend for me to hire?
I've got an army of VAs that all do different things. And you could even take our same requirements, post them to Upwork and say, I need somebody to do this, this, and this for me, right? I've got so many jobs that are here, right? Here, build an HVAC site. I'm willing to pay $850 and it has to meet our requirements. And all these people will come in and do it, right? We have these job posts for just about everything, right? Oh, this one I said 550 because it was simpler. But like it's so easy. Like if you're a person who is good at digital marketing or whatever, they say they're good, or who knows? They know more than you, so that's how they think they're good.
So that's what I'm saying. There's so much there, dude. And I'm like, running this like.
You even thought like I hacked your site, or Ryan Davis said I hacked your site.
Yeah. So,
and now he's on his hands and knees apologizing.
I don't know. Like up, exactly. Right? I didn't know. You know what I mean? I'm clueless. Yeah. Like
yeah, but you could smell.
Yeah, I ended up smelling some bullshit for sure. But it's just, dude, it's like I feel like I deal with so many marketing people. You know,
they're all like that. They're all the whole industry is polluted. You're like, it can't be. I mean, I'll try. Everyone tells me, Charlie, the last three marketing agencies all burned me, right? They all say that.
Plumbing in Richardson, Texas, plumbing in Plano, plumbing in Allen, plumbing in Carrollton. I want to be found.
Yeah.
And then if they search water heater flushing.
See, we were talking about location.
One of mine is getting found for page 1, and that's it.
Look at this.
Thing ready. Kat says, hi, everyone.
You know Roger, right?
Yeah, I've heard of him.
J. Elcar.
He's the plumber guy.
You good to have you in here. So
listen to this.
And when I started learning about this, I literally, to me, SEO, when marketing companies talk to me, what I'm thinking is they're going to make my page get found. And I say page because I've always thought, look, it's a website. Find my website. And in the past 3 days, we've looked at a lot of different websites, and most websites, including one of mine, is getting found for page 1, and that's it. That's not good for your website, is it?
No. What is SEO really about? You know, who doesn't want to show up number one when?
So anyway, he basically talks about how he's been burned so many times, and then we go on for 2.5 hours, as you can see, about this, right? Explaining basically what I've been telling you, right? And how do you audit these things? Pretty easy. Like you have this one garage floors page, and everything else doesn't count worth anything. You have all these location service pages, they're all zeros.
Right.
Why?
No one even cares about those.
Yeah, you can just keep spinning up like DuPage County, Cook County, Wayne County, they're all zeros.
Like no one's even looking that up, so it doesn't even matter, right?
Yeah, but whoever built the website or your SEO expert or digital marketing contract, CMO, whatever, who thinks they're a big deal, no one was holding them accountable.
Who do you think in the concrete coatings industry has the best website with the best SEO?
You could look at any of them. I mean, it's not hard. I mean, we help Tommy, even as he opens up in new cities. I've told this to his face many times. I mean, he hired me for 3 days recently. We spent 3 days together, locked up in a hotel conference room, going through this. And even his stuff is broken. But his saving grace is all the billboards and the vans with his face on them and that kind of thing.
Same with us.
Yeah. In spite of like your digital marketing is doing nothing for you. It's your offline media and your GMB. It's a fact. It's not my opinion. It's a fact.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, 100%. It's all about like, how do I know what the top searches are though? Like what tool is this that you have?
There's so many tools. So I have a whole toolbox. My favorite auditing tool is this one called Ahrefs. It's like a few $100 a month. Not a big deal. And then they charge you like whatever, another $30 per person. And pretty soon you're paying $1,000 a month for the things that you want. But that's how it is.
Yeah, totally. Where would you recommend I go from here? And is SEO worth it to my company and like getting this fixed?
Is being found in Google worth it? And being comfortable, like showing up in the map, showing up in videos, showing up when people are looking for keywords, showing up in reviews, showing up in.
It's worth it.
Of course it's worth it, but you don't.
What am I ranking in like Chicago, in like Detroit, let's say?
Okay, let's go to Detroit and Troy, Michigan, close enough. And Concrete flooring contractor, garage floors. How about that? And what is this one? 15 by 15, 10 miles? Sure.
We serve the whole area, to be honest.
Okay, so let's go a little further. All
Yeah,
right.
I would say all the way out to, yeah.
26 miles. Plenty good. That's good, yeah?
Yep.
Okay. You have one main GMB here, right?
Yep.
Okay. You don't have multiple GMBs or multiple
I have a
offices.
GMB in Chicago as well.
Okay, but that's not anywhere near here. Okay. So Tommy's played this game of multiple GMBs, right? You got to play that game carefully, right?
Yep.
Okay. You know all the tricks in that game, right?
No. And
There's all sorts of games there. Be careful about that game. It works, but just be careful. It's like speeding. You can speed 5 miles per hour over and you won't get a ticket, but you speed too much, they'll bust you. Google will bust. Okay, so this will come back in a minute or two, and then we can see how we rank for those searches from every one of these little places. And there's like 5 other tools that do the same thing, and they all pretty much give the same result. It's almost identical. It's just like the data is the same, but how they display it and whatever, and then the AI they put on top of it to interpret it. But it's the same thing. It's like logically, physically impossible to do SEO for anybody.
right.
Because what you do is take good care of the customer. You train your people well. You have vans that have your logos on them. You advertise where people can see you. You create helpful content. You get involved in whatever things in Chicago, Detroit. Like there's things that you do, and the result of all this is that you rank better in Google. But you don't do weight loss. What you do is you eat right and you sleep well and you exercise. These are things that you do, and the result is you lose weight.
Right. Yes.
So I can't pay someone to lose weight for me. They can coach me. They can prepare my meals for me. They can do all these things. But there's no doing of it is impossible to do SEO. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So you can't hire anyone by definition to do SEO because it does not make sense. And I'm a search engine engineer telling you this.
Right.
People argue with me. I'm a search engine engineer. I bust people like this who lie like this or don't know any better, but they're still lying. So yeah, you want to rank on all these other areas, and you want to rank. Okay, so people type in Comer Cross Garage and you rank. There's a site link and there's a people also ask, okay, good. Where's the video? Where's the top and bottom ads? Where's the maps? Where's the YouTube? Where's the Twitter? Where's the knowledge panel? Where's all the other things you can show up on? This one is almost good. Professional concrete coatings. Oh, you show up on all these things in position 14.
Who is showing up?
Mm-hmm. Let's see. There's a Facebook. Oh, there's a local pack. There's a PAA. There's proconcretecoatings.net.
Gotcha.
There's all these other guys. Okay. And we can see how much power they have. Very little. This is like you were losing against a bunch of like 8-year-olds. Come on now. You should be able to beat all these guys. Come on, look at these. Well, this has got a 15, so it's a little higher than yours. There you are. And it's a 301. Ha! It's a 301 from Comer Cross. These are all 301s.
What does that mean? 301?
301 is a permanent redirect. So
that's because we had to do that because
for the Cox thing or whatever. But wherever you have a 301, you should have. I mean, you can do it. Basically, a 301 doesn't pass all the juice. It passes some of the juice that you had. It wasn't like you had much juice. You had no juice to begin with, so I guess it's not a big deal. But for bigger sites, for bigger, well-established brands, we like to fix these things at the source so there's no 301.
Gotcha.
Until eventually the 301 is replaced with just comercross.com/whatever. See, this thing came back. Yeah, we're actually doing it's a bigger scan. So here it is. Let's look at our report. This one's not bad for garage floors. So you're probably all around Troy. This is not loading. Consider widening to 46 miles. Okay. Okay, fine. I'll use more credits. All right, sure. All right. We like green.
Sure.
So obviously next to your GMV, it's good. And then outside of that, see the AI, this is just ChatGPT, right? You can like grab any data, put it in ChatGPT and say analyze it, right? That's what it does. That's what's going on here. Okay. Consider adding floor sanding and polishing service. Okay. Industrial basement floors. Yeah. Epoxy professionals. Okay. Anyway, you can read this yourself. Okay.
Yep. Totally.
It's hard to hide. Like when you have the data that you can't hide, right? Isn't that cool or not cool?
I feel like I got to spend like not days on this, but like just a lot more time.
Well, this is what you're getting. You paid for this Are You Googleable report. I'm basically giving you the one-on-one walkthrough. I mean, we're going to give you this thing with all these pages and, you can read it and all that. But let's look at this. This one is, oh no, this is the one which is cute. Okay. So you suck when it comes to flooring contractor.
Yep.
And then we can look at whatever else we want. That's in this one. So we can actually see the data. All right. You rank number one right here for flooring contractor. Anything outside of that, there's nobody. And what is this 14? Who are these other people? There's where the other people are. There you are. And there's these other guys. And the funny thing is that you have more reviews than most of them, but it's the recency of the reviews and the quality of the review. Like there's all these things. It's not just how many people say like, oh, I have more reviews than this guy or this guy. Yeah, you do, but it's not how many reviews you have. The number of reviews you had in the last 90 days is worth more than your total. You know that, right? Recency counts for even more. You can see who these other guys are, right? It's not the same ones every time.
Yep.
You can see what else they rank on, what they do. Isn't that cool? I mean, that's the beauty. Like, that's why I think these VAs and whatever, or people who work for you, not agencies, but people who work just for you, who know your story, your experience, your technicians, your everything about your history, like to work just not all the other concrete coding people. They know
pretty easy to succeed if I can just hire the right person.
Because the data is all available now.
Right.
And the techniques are all available. We publish all this training. It's not like it's a secret, right? We have textbooks on this thing. I'm sure the same thing on like, how do you do a one-day floor? I'm sure you can go through all the traits on YouTube and, all that, right? Marco's the first one to admit this, is that it used to be, actually, no, you could do it sort of before, but I can look at anyone's,
Oh yeah, I love looking at those.
So you can spy on all their stuff.
Oh yeah, it's amazing.
And we copy it down to the landing pages and the same thing for PPC. You can do the same thing, right? Whoever these guys are, whatever. Let's see what they're, you understand how this works, right? Right? Let's see what these, and if they're working, I'm going to copy their ad. Get quote, your new floor in 24. Oh yeah? What's up with this one? And if you see someone has, dang it, I hate that music. When someone's been running the same ad for a long time, Jeff Gear or whatever, then it's probably either they're really dumb and they're bleeding money or that ad's working. So
right.
I'm going to copy their thing and Marco's getting booked appointments for $30. You could hire Marco. I think that's just sort of like an insurance policy. I mean, why not pay him his $1,600 a month? It's nothing. And then his people watch. Basically, Zane watches the ads. Or just copy it. Save yourself the $1,600 and have your VA do it. But either way, just copy everyone else's ads. There's nothing illegal about that.
No, you're right.
And you do the same thing on every other channel. Same thing, Oh, I want to look at someone's Google ads. Well, my buddy Mike Roberts built the #1 tool here, SpyFu. It's the same thing. See all their ads, see what the keywords are, see what they cost. If you don't know about that, then come over here and look at these keywords and see what they cost. Garage flooring is $1.33 a click, professional concrete, $2.86 a click. There's 30 of them. Do you want them? Sure.
Right. Totally.
There's so much data available. The AI is so smart on Google, Facebook, TikTok, whatever. The SOPs are out there. Now you just need some reasonably trustworthy VAs who can follow directions. Do they have to know anything about digital marketing? No, but they have to follow directions and be loyal and stay with you and not change jobs every 6 months. They have to stay with you. And that's why I like VAs, not because they're cheap, but because they stay with you. I've invested in a lot of people, who are in the US and they just, for whatever reason, they're just not very loyal and, in and out pays more or, whatever, right?
Totally.
That's the game of digital marketing now. It's really just a matter of if these other things are true, like if our strategy is correct and our operations are actually good, then it's a matter of just trying to keep quality people, which is all the entrepreneurs I know and other who are completely random businesses. We all talk about the same thing as like trying to have quality people. Like, I kid you not, it's like the same, doesn't matter what you're doing. It's the same conversation I have all the time. Oh, how do I get these people and get more quality people? Or this person's not thinking for themselves. Why do I have to think for them? Why am I dealing with all the excuses on why they took the last 3 days off? Or, come on.
Totally.
All of Gen Z. I mean, whatever.
I'm going to review all this stuff you sent me. Like, would you be interested in vetting the next person I hire for me?
Sure.
Okay.
Marco and I are happy. I can vet them, in a 5-minute call, I can vet them. But the thing with digital marketing, Charlie, is unlike other things, like vetting whether they're good at doing floors or something, all I need to do is look at their work. It's like, I don't even have to talk to them. If you claim that you're an expert in SEO, whatever, okay, prove it to me. Because all you got to do is Google me and you can see whether I'm legit or not, right?
Right. Totally.
There's other people that are like, oh, well, the cobbler's son has no shoes. And I've done it for all these other companies, but I myself have, or I'm not allowed to disclose who I did it for. Okay, fine. I'll interview and in 5 minutes we can tell.
Yeah, totally.
But VAs, start with some VAs and then have have someone who you trust, who's a project manager, operations minded kind of person,
That should
manage
bring in-house. That's the person I need to hire. Project manager operations in-house.
this project manager who is usually, I'm stereotyping, but it's like a 30-year-old female. And
Right.
she is loyal and she chases things down, just like she chases her kids. And she can make sure without being like a police woman, being like a nice policeman, making sure everyone's doing their stuff, turning in their status reports, evaluating the quality.
She be in charge of like my site hosting on GoDaddy, my alt WordPress, all that stuff.
All of it, yeah. But I don't want to say CMO. I don't want to have this like
No, I don't
VP
either.
marketing. I don't want this big sounding title because then that attracts the wrong person and then they think there's some kind of big boss. I want someone who's like watching over everything and can even jump in and roll up their sleeves and do the freaking task themselves. Otherwise, you can't hold.
I think I find this person. How do I find this person?
You can find them on onlinejobs.p, or we have a group of 42,000 Pakistanis that are all going through our thing. And
Can I trust this person if she has all my shit and she's just
yeah, I've been doing this for 20 something years, and there's thousands of folks who have hired VAs who are like, how do I trust someone? They're in the Philippines or whatever. They're more
They
trustworthy.
die. Well, I gotta have all my logins and you know.
Well, you distribute things with, there's a whole way where no one person has control of everything. That way you have checks and balances, right? We have a whole way of doing that too.
And you guys can help with that as well.
We have a process for that. And then we have VAs who can help train up your VA. It's kind of like this VA network. And the VAs are, for some reason, Charlie, afraid of me. So I think it's better that they kind of learn from their peers. Because the
Sure.
last thing they want is Dennis auditing their stuff, as you can imagine.
Right. No, I understand that. Okay, cool. Well, I've got a million things going on here, but I know I need to get this right.
The answer is not the agency, although that's what all the agencies would have you believe. And look, I'm friends with Danny and Marco and you name Jonathan and I coach all these guys, right?
Yep.
But
No, I get it.
yeah, I think given that you want to grow and you don't want to be just like a lifestyle business, you want to actually expand the thing, you have to take control of your marketing, like you just
Yeah, and I need someone that's sharp. So what was the website you said I should start looking at?
Here, I'll show you. I'm one of those show you, not tell you sorts of people. Okay, so look, onlinejobs.p, okay? And full disclosure, good friend of mine, largest VA marketplace in the world. 2 million VAs are on this one.
Wow.
We've got a lot of training together. This guy is as white as they come. John Jonas, who started this, when I first met him and went to his house in Utah, he has this mansion, which he doesn't publish because he doesn't want the VAs to realize that he lives like that. Because I first started like making videos or whatever. Like you can see all these people are applying, right? This guy, he wants to be a web designer and build websites for us, right? Blah, 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 blah. And this guy here, he's willing to work for $704 a month full time. And here's all this information. He's got a 119 IQ.
Wow.
Good luck in the US. That's not bad. I kind of like 130 plus, but that's cool. I can ask for anything I want. There's his disc. Here's like stuff that he's done. And the last employer said, I fired him because he's, oh no. Then he got hacked. Oh, I'm not going to hire this guy. Okay. Well, that's too bad. It looked good at first, didn't it?
Yep.
I mean, how would you know? I mean, maybe you have a good interview with him and then all of a sudden the background check you run and you see like, they have to upload their IDs, government IDs and all that. I know in America that's not legal, but in the Philippines, you can show all this stuff. Look, contact employer.
Wow.
See, VA, like you don't have any VAs, but once you have a lot of VAs, you start having VAs managing these functions. You have VAs managing, you have VAs hiring, like, we have VAs that you can see like how many jobs this guy's been applying for. You can see he's been applying for a lot of jobs. This guy's been unemployed for quite some time.
Yeah, totally.
Isn't it cool? You can see all this. You can't see this in America.
Dude, it's insane.
I mean, look, I was born in Dayton, Ohio. I'm an American and all that, but who's this one? This one, not this one. It's Glenn guy. Hi, Sir Dennis. I am very much interested in your job post. I'm interested in, okay. Computer science graduate and all this. Looks good. He says all these things. Well, what about this Glenn guy? Let's see. This Glenn guy wants $2,000 a month. Do you know how far you can live like a boss in the Philippines for $2,000 a month? Like I know $12 an hour isn't shit in the US, but do you know how well you could live for $2,000 a month over there?
I bet pretty well.
Yeah, and then you can see this. And he's not even in a major metro area, so he can have like a mansion and maids and like all this kind of stuff. And probably because he's done these things, he's probably can. Because for $12 an hour, took 2 months to build one stupid website, lots of mistakes. Yeah, I don't think so. But the beauty is like you get thousands of these people that are applying, thousands and thousands and thousands. I'm a rock star. You can't even spell this thing. Program director. Okay, so this is the kind of thing you'd be looking for. Program director, right?
Yeah.
This girl supposedly can do all these things. Let's see what's up with her. She wants $5 an hour, $8.80 a month. Okay, I'm okay with that. And this, okay. Let's see. Avoid this lady like the plague.
Who is leaving these reviews? How are they connected?
Because in this marketplace, like you go to a restaurant and you leave a review or
Yes. Yep.
okay, it's a marketplace. So that's what happens. And disappeared and it was time to get paid. Oh boy, that's what happens. Yikes.
Jeez.
Damn. Like you never see employees. This is why like I don't trust going for references. You know how like you're supposed to ask for 3 references? You realize that's right? Because of course they're going to list 3 people. They're going to say good things about them, right? So anyway, you basically just have to take one of our job posts. So we have this thing called the VA hiring guide. Oops, VA hiring guide. And thousands of people have gone through this and hired their VA. And you can see like it goes through the whole thing. There's all these people have said they've hired lots of VAs. And let's see, this is a new Mac. I wonder if I have it transferred over here. VA PDF. I got lots of these documents.
So here's Dennis. Here's the type of guy I am. I'm a guy that hires people.
Yeah.
And does, and I check in on them a little bit. But with digital marketing, I don't really understand or have time to really understand it. But I'm starting to realize that I might have to really take the time to understand it. You know what I mean?
You do. I mean, you'd love to say, well, I just want to delegate it out to
a guy like Tommy. How the fuck does Tommy know what's really going on with his company?
Tommy's grown this thing through these marketing things. Tommy is the one who did it himself. So he started off doing the garage doors himself. He answered the phone himself. He did all these things himself, right? He's told his beginning stories of his little office that he first started out. He drove me there one time, which I thought was hilarious because he loves to reminisce, right? And showed me how he set up his own GMBs. He set up his own ads. Every one of these things he did initially himself to get started. And then you can delegate it out. He's since come clean and says he doesn't do the spam anymore on GMB and create all the fake listings, right? But even Joy Hawkins won't work with him anymore because of that. Ben Fisher kind of will.
What did he do with fake listings?
So Tommy was known back in the day for creating a lot of fake GMBs.
Okay.
But he doesn't do that. He's clean.
Gotcha.
But Tommy knows. Now Tommy knows a lot about digital marketing. He may play dumb, but man, he's a pro.
Really?
Oh yeah.
So I
all
feel
these
like
guys
there's
are.
only one thing I can do, and it's become a pro at digital marketing. If I'm
Freaking Jeff Gear still runs his own Facebook ads, I think, or at least last time I heard, he said he ran his own ads. Like really? But you guys are like the big player. How are you the one? Don't you have a VA doing it?
Yep.
It's not that hard. Freaking Marco's been in this business only for a few years now, right? Even Creighton is in on the game and trying to become an expert at Facebook ads. Good luck.
Right.
Creighton called me multiple times like, oh, let's start a competing agency. Let's do this thing for all the concrete coating companies. I said, Marco's my good buddy. You think I'm going to turn my back on? Why do you keep calling me instead of calling Marco? If you want to do anything with me, I'm doing it with Marco. Okay.
Totally.
You're going to start an agency. Why is Marco not in this call? Oh, I want to do it with you, Dennis. No, Marco's my protege. I have a lot of Marcos and I'm loyal to my Marcos, right?
Yeah, no, I understand that.
It just sounds shifty, dude. I'm not going to do anything like that.
Totally.
Yeah. Because your reputation is everything,
I got some work to put in here, that's for sure. Can we reconnect next week?
Yeah, I'm around. I'm actually in the United States next week. So
cool.
let me know.
Let's do you have my number?
I don't know, but let me text you or Facebook message you my number and you could text me back. Yeah, just text me and I'll add you to my address book.
Cool. I'll text you right now. Cool. We'll chat next week. I got to figure this all out. So
yeah, you're like the doctor or not the doctor. You're the patient that came in for your physical, and I'm the doctor, and I told you all these things that aren't good with your blood, and you're overweight, and your cholesterol's too high, and whatever, right?
And now my brain is surging.
But I'm gonna send you this recording, and behind everything we talked about, there's an SOP.
Yep.
Yeah.
Sounds good. I appreciate you, man.
Cool, Charlie. We'll talk soon.